So there I was at my office at home on a Zoom call. All I wanted to do was go on petfinder.com and look at dogs. I'd had a dog before, a little rescue dog named Ginger. She's the one that made me get the whole dog thing. She was my rock, my strength. I remember my husband not wanting me to adopt this dog. Like, he knew she would give me this thing I needed to get through what was coming. But I went ahead and did it because I don't listen to what people tell me usually. And she did. She brought me this strength. We went on so many walks, so many hikes, so many runs together. And she was there with me through the separation, through the divorce after being married 23 years to the wrong guy, through the move. She helped me get through the other side. One of the things on my post-divorce bucket list was to go climb a mountain. And I went out west and I did that. And I remember climbing the mountain. We almost got to the summit. And we saw this group of hikers off to the side, and there was this dog with them running down the mountain in the snow. It was like an incredible image. And I remember thinking how much Ginger would have loved to do that adventure with me. And I came home and I wanted to share that story with everybody. And Ginger didn't come running to me like she always did when I got home. It was eerily quiet. And my son had to come tell me that Ginger had passed away in a tragic accident when I was gone. And I was done. I was so done with dogs. But life moves on. And Ginger wasn't next to me physically, but I could feel her presence with me. She was with me trying to navigate this new life I was trying to build for myself. I called it Annette 2.0. This navigating the crazy dating world, which is not greener in any means. There was lots of bumps in the road. And I tried to listen to the whispers. I tried to figure out how to navigate moving forward. And I met this guy named Aaron, the kind guy. The guy I'm pretty sure was the right guy, but we had some things to work out. And life was pretty full. And then COVID came and like everything shifted. The boys came home from college and were doing the virtual thing, and I was working at home, and we all decided together we were ready for a dog again. We just knew. So in between the Zoom calls, I would go on petfinder.com and I put in the search for the young dog, the somewhat trained, non-shedding, mid-sized dog. And I would get these replies back from the rescue site saying, thanks for your application. You had a lot of interest in this dog. You're actually number 199 on the list for this dog. Are you still interested? I'd be like, I don't think so. Like, I'm not gonna get the dog, so yeah, I don't think I'm interested. And this happened like 2 or 3 times, and I just got really discouraged. I realized it's really hard to get a dog over COVID. Like, lots of people want that in their lives. So I let it go. I said, it's not gonna happen for me. Other people need a dog more than me, so okay, time to move on to something else. So I've tried to find ways to connect with people and, actually just get out of the fucking house because I was going a little crazy. And Mother Therese emailed me. Mother Therese is one of my older sisters. She's my sister is how I refer to her. She is the mother abbess at a cloistered monastery down by Williamsburg. If you're not a good Catholic girl like me, you don't know what a cloistered nun is. You think like a monk's life. They wear the traditional habit, they have bare feet, they have a life of prayer, of solitude, of poverty. So she was emailing me, and she was looking for help. because of COVID, their donations were lacking. They were running out of food. People in the community were not coming out and donating food to them. That's basically how they survive. So she reached out to me for help, and so I started to research it. I looked into Instacart and Peapod, but it's a rural part of Virginia, so it wasn't an option. And we even tried Misfit Produce, but it's one little box of produce for 24 nuns, that lasts a day. So that wasn't an option. So I was talking to Aaron, and we decided we'll do a road trip, win-win for us. We love to help people, and we'll get out of the house. So that's what we did. We collected money from our family and friends, some of here, tonight, and we got as many supplies and food, and we loaded up his van. This is the only time I was excited he had a minivan, the guy I was dating. Not cool, Aaron. But we loaded up the van, and we started the trip. We got closer to the monastery, and I hear Aaron say, ice cream. And I'm like, babe, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Why are you talking about ice cream? And Aaron's favorite food is ice cream. He'll eat it 3 times a day. He's 49, 49, but he loves to eat ice cream. And he thinks everyone else wants ice cream. He's like, the nuns really need ice cream. I was like, okay. But funny enough, my mom tells me later, my dad used to do the same thing, buy the nuns ice cream on the way. So we go to the store and we look for ice cream, and I had no idea what a major life decision picking out ice cream was. So we walk up and down the aisle for a long time, and we finally decide on 5 gallons of Bluebell ice cream, which is the best ice cream you can buy. And then we continued the journey to the monastery. And I've been there before. I've visited my sister lots of times, and you kind of go around the back, and you go to a little room off the side, and usually I'll see one nun, and I'm very excited. I'll linger and try to see another one. But this day, I don't know if it was COVID and they were just dying to see people, but that day it was like a conveyor belt of nuns coming in and out of that room. I don't know if it was they wanted to see what we bought, or they wanted to see this new guy I was dating. I'm not really sure, but they were in and out, and it was amazing. And this one nun comes into the room, Sister Margaret, and she is she comes in and she's wide-eyed. And she said, "You brought me ice cream?" I've been praying for an ice cream delivery for 3 months. God is so good, and you guys are amazing. And she said, in return, I'll pray for you guys. What do you want? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my chance. She has a direct line to God. Don't mess this up, Annette. And so I'm like, okay, it's COVID. I know lots of people lost their jobs and people are sick. And I'm like, a dog. I just want to, can I just have a dog? I was on Santa's lap, and it just came out. And she looks at me, she's like, I have a direct line, that's what you're going with here? And I'm like, yeah, I want a dog. And she's like, okay, yeah, we'll pray for a dog for you. They get the dog thing, they have a couple dogs at the monastery. And she said, yes, we'll pray for a dog for you. Just send us pictures and share in that journey with us. And I said yes, and kind of didn't think anything of it. And we left with our hearts full. And we started to drive home, and Aaron said, I don't want to go the Route 95 North drive. Can we go a different way? And I thought about it. I was like, yeah, we can take this back roads, this side road. And we start to do that. And we got maybe 10 minutes into the drive, and we both kind of off to the right-hand side, we saw an animal shelter. And Aaron said, do you want to stop? And usually I'm like a adventure girl, I'm totally into that, but I was like, no, I don't want to stop. I'm really emotionally tired. I'm good, I want to go home, and I don't want to be disappointed about a dog. And he said, okay. And he kept driving. And he got a little ways down the road, and he's like, you know what? I want to stop. And I was like, I didn't say it out loud because I'm a good Catholic girl, but I was like, motherfucker, I don't want to stop, Aaron. But he's like, we're turning back. Like, fine. So he turns back and goes to the parking lot. There's one car there. And I start to think how right I am, like, this is a complete waste of time. He's like, let's knock on the door at least. So we go to knock on the door. And eventually this 20-year-old county worker comes to the door. And I was like, do you have any dogs? And he's like, ma'am, it's a pandemic. Like, we don't have dogs. We're not taking dogs. No dogs. Like, you're lucky I answered the door. I'm like, okay. And I was thinking how right I was. I was like, see, Aaron, I was right. This is a waste of time. And right when I was saying how right I was, another car pulls into the parking lot. And a lady gets out of the car, and she says, I have a dog I want to surrender. And me and Aaron look at each other, and we're like, oh my God, the ice cream, like, it's working. And I say, I'll take the dog. And Aaron's like, what the fuck? Like, you need to at least test drive the dog first. Like, go run it around, make sure it can run with you. I was like, okay, I'll do that. So I go and do that. I run the dog around the parking lot, and I leave Aaron to do the negotiations. And I'm walking around with her, and I'm thinking, this is the right dog for me. Like, I'm hoping it'll work. I'm hoping he's good at negotiations. And I run back with her, and he had told them the ice cream story. And they wanted to share in that journey with us. They wanted to give us the dog. They were so excited. They're like, yes, you can have the dog for free, all her records, food, blankets, anything you want, you can have it. We just want to know where to, take the ice cream to the nuns. So we get the dog. We put her in the van, like 20 minutes after we had left the monastery. And life is amazing. You never know, like, what path it's going to take you on, and sometimes it's not good. But I firmly believe if you listen, we call them the whispers, if you listen to the whispers, if you stay positive, life will go your way. It's on one of these times when I kind of took a different route, I met Aaron, the guy that gives me the strength, the nudges to go on stage and tell a story. He's my rock. And together we brought home Bella, the dog named after Blue Belt ice cream. And life is good. Thank you.